The last fly of Flight 7841.
Flight 7841 of Aeroflot, the climb into silence. It was the heart of winter in the Soviet Union. On the morning of February 1, 1985, Minsk lay beneath a blanket of snow, its streets frozen, its skies pale with the icy haze of dawn. At Minsk 2 airport, passengers trudged across the terminal floor, their boots wet with slush, carrying suitcases and bundles of winter coats. They were bound for Leningrad, one of the Soviet Union's great northern cities. A Tupolev Tu-134A with tail number 65856 awaited them, its nose pointing toward the runway like a hound eager for the chase. The crew of 9, seasoned Soviet aviators, welcomed 64 passengers aboard. Families settled into narrow rows, businessmen folded newspapers, and a few young soldiers, heading back to their posts, leaned against frosted windows. At 10:37 a.m., after de-icing and checks, Flight 7841 lifted off into the gray sky. Engines roared, snow trailed behind, and the Tu-134 climbed steadily. The captain called for a steeper ascent inside the cockpit. The crew allowed their attention to wander from the airspeed indicator because they were focused on maintaining climb performance. The Tu-134, with its swept wings and rear-mounted engines, had a dangerous characteristic: once it entered a stall, recovery was difficult. Yet in those moments of routine climb, the danger went unnoticed. The nose rose higher, the engines strained, and the vital speed bled away. Passengers felt their bodies press back into the seats as the climb angle increased, though the view outside was nothing but a thickening gray cloud. At 390 meters, barely over 1,000 feet, the aircraft shuddered. But it was too late when the stall warning blared. The Tupolev dipped sharply, its left wing dropping as the plane entered a deep stall. Inside the cabin, gasps turned to screams as the nose tilted down. Coffee cups and briefcases skittered across the floor. The pilots in the cockpit pulled back in an effort to regain control, but their actions only made the descent worse. The engines whined, powerless against the laws of aerodynamics. The Tu-134 rolled and dropped, vanishing into the snow-laden mist just a few kilometers from Minsk 2 airport. At 10:39 a.m., Flight 7841 slammed into the frozen earth. The crash tore the fuselage apart, scattering wreckage across the snowy fields. Of the 73 aboard, 58 perished almost instantly. Survivors, dazed and injured, found themselves amidst twisted metal and smoke, the silence of the snow broken only by cries for help. Rescue teams rushed from Minsk, their vehicles grinding through the snowbound roads. They found a scene of devastation: bodies in the wreckage, a tail section half buried in ice, luggage strewn like toys in the snow. Yet among the wreckage, 15 people clung to life, pulled from the wreckage by medics and villagers who had seen the crash. The investigation concluded that pilot error had caused the tragedy. The crew, in their eagerness to climb, had allowed the Tu-134 to stall fatally close to the ground. It served as a reminder of the harsh nature of aviation and was a preventable incident. For the families of those lost, February 1, 1985, remained a day when the flight to Leningrad never arrived, when the climb into the sky ended in silence.